Welcome back, lovers of turbos and redlines. Today we're cracking open the 90s garage, and it's not your usual JDM nostalgia trip. This was the era of screaming inline sixes, turbo terrors, and AWD wizardry. Stick around, because your new dream car might just be one of the outlaws hiding in the shadows. Number 10, Subaru Impreza WRX STI GC8 1994 to 2000. At first, it seemed like just another compact sedan, all boxy proportions and a wing trying a little too hard to impress. But then you heard it, that unmistakable boxer burble, like a baritone clearing its throat before a symphony of speed. This was the GC8 WRX STI, Subaru's four-wheeled fist raised against the world. Born in the fire of rally stages, it wasn't just a car, it was a catapult. A 2-liter turbocharged Boxer 4, spitting out around 280 horsepower, paired with symmetrical all-wheel drive that could claw at gravel, snow, or tarmac with equal ferocity. In an era when most sedans politely asked permission to overtake, the WRX STI punched first and asked questions never. But here's the kicker. In the United States and Canada, this rally-bred renegade was forbidden fruit. Why? Emissions regulations, safety standards, and the nervous whispers of insurers who took one look at the turbo snail and said, absolutely not. Subaru fans were left drooling at magazine spreads, dreaming of a car that could turn a grocery run into a gravel stage. The GC8 wasn't just banned, it was mythologized. A car that turned corners into conquests and every straightaway into an invitation. And for young enthusiasts, it was less a machine and more a manifesto. Speed, style, and a refusal to play by the rules. Number 9, Mitsubishi Lancer Evolution 4, 1996 to 1998. The Evo 4 was the car that proved Mitsubishi wasn't just in the rally game, but they were ready to redraw the rulebook. It was the moment Mitsubishi decided to turn the volume knob from fast to furious. Gone was the tidy, squared-off look of the early Evos. The fourth arrived with swollen arches, an angrier fascia, and a wing that practically screamed, "Catch me if you can." Underneath that aggressive armor, the engineers had reimagined the whole layout. They flipped the legendary 4G63T inline-4 sideways, improving weight balance and shaving precious milliseconds off corner transitions. A twin-scroll turbo was bolted in, designed to deliver torque like a sucker punch in the mid-range. But the real party trick was active yaw control. Forget simple limited slip diffs. This was torque shuffling sorcery. It could send power to whichever rear wheel had the most grip, effectively rotating the car mid-corner as if the laws of physics were optional. For rally stages, it was black magic. For ordinary roads, it was total overkill. And that's exactly why it met the terrible fate of getting banned. Meeting emission standards would have required a costly detune, and crash certification for the US market was a bureaucratic minefield. Add to that the looming insurance paranoia about turbocharged Japanese sedans, and the Evo 4 was red flagged before it even reached the docks. Mitsubishi cut their losses, leaving US fans staring at grainy magazine photos and grainier VHS rally broadcasts. The ban only added to its myth. The Evo 4 wasn't just another turbo sedan. It was the forbidden four-door with rally DNA. A car whose torque vectoring was too clever and whose turbo punch was too much for regulators to stomach. Number 8, Nissan Silvia S15 1999 to 2002. On paper, it was just another coupe. But paper lies. The Nissan Silvia S15 wasn't just sleek, it was sculpted. Those sharp headlights, the flowing roofline, the body that looked like it was poured rather than stamped. This wasn't a car, it was an argument for why driving should always be dangerous fun. Beneath the beauty lurked the SR20D ET, a turbocharged 2-liter inline-4 that made 250 horses sing, Paired with a chassis as sharp as a katana, the Silvia was balance incarnate. It didn't just go fast, it let you dance with physics. But that's exactly why it was banned. Authorities saw the S15 not as a car, but as a public menace. Rear-wheel drive, lightweight, and dangerously affordable. US and Australian regulators denied its certification under crash safety standards, and insurers sounded alarms about drift cars being cheap, fast, and tail-happy. In the wrong hands, it was chaos. In the right ones, pure poetry on asphalt. The S15 never came officially to America, but it didn't need to. It became immortal through drifting culture, video games, and the gray market. Its ban made it rarer, more exotic, more desirable. What was once just a sharp little coupe is now a symbol of the forbidden JDM underground. After all, it was a car outlawed not because it was weak, but because it was too tempting. Number 7, Mitsubishi GTO 3000 GT VR4, 1990 to 2001. Imagine if a spaceship decided it was bored of orbit and wanted to play on Earth's highways. That's the Mitsubishi GTO VR4. Few cars better capture the excess of the 1990s than the Mitsubishi GTO VR4. It was Japan's moonshot, a twin-turbo V6 good for nearly 300 horsepower, all-wheel drive, all-wheel steering, active aerodynamics, and electronically adjustable suspension. It was less a car, more a showcase of everything Mitsubishi's engineers could throw at a single chassis. But America wasn't buying it, literally and figuratively. The car was too complex, too heavy, and too costly to maintain. Critics sneered, saying it wasn't pure enough, and bloated with tech, stuffed with wires, sensors, servos. It was a heavyweight trying to box in the lightweight division. Regulatory hurdles on emissions and safety piled up, while insurance premiums skyrocketed. By the late 90s, Mitsubishi pulled the plug, and regulators made sure the VR4 never made a return. Number 6, Mitsubishi Lancer Evolution 5, 1998. If the Evo 4 was a revelation, the Evo 5 was a revolution. Think of it as Mitsubishi's engineers saying, "Oh, you thought that was quick? Hold my intercooler." The body went wide, fenders stretched like a bodybuilder flexing in the mirror, swallowing fatter tires and a wider track. The aero wasn't just cosmetic, its deeper bumpers and functional ducts pushed air where it mattered, forcing stability at triple-digit speeds. Even the rear wing wasn't a fashion statement, it was downforce in disguise. Under the hood, the familiar 4G63T was refined again. A larger turbo, tougher intercooler, and improved intake and exhaust systems pushed it closer to the limits of Japan's self-imposed power cap. The result was relentless acceleration, combined with a chassis that could turn rally corners into playgrounds. Tomi Mäkinen proved it by storming the 1998 World Rally Championship in the Evo 5, leaving rivals scrambling for answers. So why did Americans never get the chance to thrash one down a canyon road? Blame emissions. Mitsubishi would have had to retool the engine for US regulations, and the suspension tuning was far too stiff to pass Department of Transportation ride comfort tests. On top of that, insurers feared a turbocharged four-door rally rocket would be a magnet for young drivers with heavy right feet and light insurance payments. The Evo 5 became the forbidden fruit of the 1990s rally scene. It was a sedan that didn't just bend the rules of physics, it bent the patience of regulators. Too raw, too fast, too advanced, and therefore too banned. Number 5, Toyota Celica GT4 ST205, 1994 to 1999. Toyota had already tasted rally glory with the earlier Celica GT4s, but the ST205 was a different beast. It was the most sophisticated Celica ever built. Armed with a turbocharged 3S GTE 2-liter 4-cylinder, producing 252 horsepower, an advanced all-wheel drive system with viscous center differential, and super strut suspension to handle the twistiest of rally stages. Even its homologation road version came with rally-inspired goodies like twin-vented hoods, water spray for the intercooler, and a massive rear spoiler. This wasn't a daily driver, it was a rally car politely pretending to be one. And then came the scandal that made the ST205 infamous. In the 1995 WRC season, Toyota was caught running a turbo restrictor plate that had been machined with a clever spring-loaded collar. It bypassed regulations and added as much as 50 horsepower on demand. FIA inspectors called it the most sophisticated piece of cheating ever seen in motorsport. Toyota was banned from competition for a full year, their reputation scarred, and the ST205 forever linked to motorsport's greatest act of deception. The US closed its door again. Emissions rules, stricter crash safety requirements, and Toyota's desire to shield its mainstream reputation from scandal meant the ST205 was blocked at the docks. American fans only knew it through rally coverage, car magazines, and PlayStation discs. The car itself became a ghost of the 1990s. Powerful, controversial, and tantalizingly out of reach. Today, the Celica ST205 is remembered as both a hero and a villain. It was Toyota's boldest rally car, and also the one that got them exiled. For enthusiasts, that contradiction is exactly what makes it irresistible. Number 4, Mazda RX-7 FD3S, 1992 to 2002. If engines had personalities, the RX-7's 13 BREW twin-rotor was a caffeinated jazz drummer. High-revving, unpredictable, and always improvising. This was the world's first mass-produced sequential twin-turbo rotary, delivering 276 horsepower, officially, wink wink, but capable of so much more once tuned. Weighing barely 1,250 kilograms, the FD3S was a scalpel on tarmac. 50-50 weight distribution, double wishbone suspension, and steering so telepathic it felt like Mazda had hacked into your nervous system. So why was it banned, blacklisted, or black-sheeped around the world? One word: rotary. Emissions inspectors hated it, reliability skeptics mocked it, and fuel regulators sneered at its thirst. While piston engines steadily cleaned up for stricter laws, the RX-7's rotary struggled to meet tightening emissions in Europe and Asia. By the late 1990s, countries like Germany and even parts of Australia saw restrictions or taxed it into extinction. Insurance firms worldwide also red-flagged it, calling it a lightweight coupe with turbo lag that snapped into boost like a mousetrap was, apparently, a statistical liability. Mazda itself pulled the plug in multiple markets before the global axe fell. That's the irony. The RX-7 wasn't always banned by governments, but sometimes by its own maker who couldn't justify retrofitting it to pass evolving regulations. A car too pure for compromise, it lived and died by its wailing rotary, now immortalized in street racing lore, from option videos to Fast and Furious. Number 3, Honda NSX-R 1992. The original NSX was already Honda's mic drop moment, an aluminum-bodied mid-engine supercar tuned with input from Ayrton Senna. But in 1992, Honda quietly unveiled something wild for the domestic market: the NSX-R, or Type R. This wasn't just a badge. Engineers stripped 265 pounds by ripping out sound insulation, air conditioning, stereo, and even replacing the rear glass with lightweight acrylic. The suspension was stiffened to the point of back pain, and the 3-liter VTEC V6 was blueprinted for razor-sharp throttle response. The result? A car that could out-handle Ferraris while looking deceptively civil. But the NSX-R never left Japan. Why? Blame market politics and risk aversion. In Europe and America, Honda was seen as the builder of Civics and Accords. They were reliable daily drivers, but not bare-knuckle track weapons. Exporting a car with no aircon, no radio, and bone-crushing ride quality would have looked like a prank to mainstream buyers. Regulatory hurdles around crash standards and noise emissions in certain markets sealed its fate. Thus, the NSX-R remained a JDM forbidden fruit, coveted by enthusiasts worldwide who knew this was Senna's spirit animal distilled into aluminum and carbon. Honda refused to soften it for the West, leaving it to legends whispered through Japanese car mags and eventually Gran Turismo garages. To this day, when collectors talk about the purest NSX, they mean the R, the one you weren't allowed to have. Number 2, Toyota Supra J ZA80 Twin-Turbo RHD 1993 to 1998. The A80 Supra didn't just enter the 1990s sports car scene, it kicked the door off its hinges. With its 2JZ GTE twin-turbo inline-six, officially capped at 276 horsepower, but known to shrug off 600 horsepower with basic tuning, the Supra became the stuff of dyno graphs and drag strip smackdowns. Its 6-speed Getrag gearbox was tougher than tax season, and the chassis balanced brute power with surprisingly refined handling. This was the definition of over-engineering, and enthusiasts loved it. So why was it banned, hidden, or restricted? The answer depends where you stood. In Japan, Toyota themselves killed off the twin-turbo RHD export in 1998, citing cost, fuel economy penalties, and a shrinking sports car market as governments cracked down on efficiency and emissions. In Europe, strict tax bans for large displacement and turbocharged engines priced it into irrelevance. And in the US, crash test certifications and OBD2 compliance requirements made later RHD-JDM models untouchable until the 25-year import rule. But the Supra's real ban was its own myth. Authorities worldwide saw what tuners were doing with the 2JZ, quadrupling its power output with stock internals. And insurers, regulators, and manufacturers recoiled. Here was a car capable of embarrassing supercars for half the price, and markets simply weren't ready. The irony? Being forbidden only supercharged the legend. The Supra became a poster car, a PlayStation hero, and eventually Hollywood's most famous quarter-mile king. What was once too much car for regulators became, in exile, the most worshipped Japanese sports coupe of all time. Number 1, Nissan Skyline GTR R32 to R34, 1989 to 2002. The Skyline GTR was never just a car. It was an earthquake on wheels, a four-wheel cheat code that bent the laws of physics until regulators around the world bent the laws against it. Born in 1989 as the R32, it introduced the world to Nissan's Atessa ETS all-wheel drive and the legendary RB26D ETT twin-turbo inline-six. Official figures said 276 horsepower, but dynos revealed otherwise. The R32 dominated Group A racing so brutally that it earned the nickname Godzilla. By the time the R33 and R34 followed, the Skyline had become a technological arms race in metal. Multi-link suspension, Hikis four-wheel steering, and an engine block that tuners swore was forged by ancient gods made it nearly indestructible. This was a car you could daily on the street, then detonate down a drag strip with 700 horsepower on stock internals. The R34, with its multi-function display reading out real-time boost and G-forces, looked less like a coupe and more like a cockpit. So why was the world told no? For some countries, it was emissions. For others, crash safety certifications. In the United States, it became the poster child of the 25-year rule, blocked from import because it was never officially tested for federal compliance. And once the legend of street racing and tuning culture wrapped itself around the Skyline, insurers and regulators treated it like contraband. Too fast, too modifiable, too tempting. Governments preferred to keep it out of sight rather than risk it rewriting the performance hierarchy. And yet, every ban only inflated the myth. Magazines printed grainy photos of R34s prowling Tokyo. Video games like Gran Turismo turned it into a digital demigod. Gray market importers smuggled them in under loopholes, and law enforcement impounded them like stolen treasure. By the time the 25-year curtain began to lift, the Skyline GTR was already the most worshipped outlaw of them all. Today, it is more than a car. It is the #1 forbidden fruit of the 1990s, proof that sometimes the most powerful marketing tool is not letting people have what they want. The Skyline wasn't just banned, it was enshrined. So there you have it. If you enjoyed this trip down the back roads of banned JDM legends, hit that like button, subscribe for more high-octane stories, and ring the bell so you never miss a ride.